Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I was trying to pin a comment, guys. So just want to make note. I know we're a couple minutes early. Make note that you can pick up your packet, your new packet that we're going to be using starting next week. It'll say Distance Learning Weeks 4 and 5. You can pick that up today from 10 to 3 at Hart. And on Friday, you can pick it up at, I'm not sure of the times, but at Baloo if you don't get to go. Do you need something, honey? Sorry. Good morning, good morning. Excuse me, we have 3 people in this house doing distance learning at the same time, so we're going through the same things your families are going through. Good morning. So you can pick up a packet today. You can also download it from Teams if you have access to Teams. So, and you can still, people have been doing that even with your do nows this morning. I appreciate you taking a picture of your work and submitting it, by DM. That right now seems to be the best way that's working for most people. Just make sure you're showing your work when you do that. Excuse me, my voice is a little raspy this morning. I know it's raspy all the time, but I don't really get time to get it warmed up like usual. So, hopefully you took a look at the do now. The do now is going to lead into our first problem. And again, we're still finishing that packet that we started a while ago. The reason we're still on our first packet is because I made it long enough that it would last us, because I was afraid we wouldn't be going back. So ours is, because it was 18 pages and it was so long, we still had plenty of work on it. I think even on today's page, I don't know that we'll get through all of them. So good morning for those of you just logging on. We were talking about how to access access the packets, the new packets you can pick up today at Hart. I pinned that from 10 to 3. You can also get them on Friday at Baloo. There is no way to get them on Thursday because Thursday is a school holiday. You should all have heard that by now, but just in case, that's new information. Sorry about waving at everybody. But please make sure your families know. So tomorrow you won't be logging into any of your lives. Okay? If you joined advisory this morning, you should have seen that. She gave a lot of good information. And I want to make sure that you all have that. Okay? Good morning. Good morning. So, any questions about picking up the packets? Is there anybody that wants to jump on and talk about our do now? How to do the do now? Anybody want to jump on and explain to me how you did the do now? And then we'll get started because it's 10:01. People are still going to be jumping on. Okay, great job. So hold on a minute. Let's get the do now in view. Good morning. Somebody's jumping in. Excuse me. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Good to hear your voice.
Good.
Don't show your face. Okay, don't show your face, but we're glad to see you or hear you, I guess. Would you like to explain to everybody how you approached this do now? How you solve it?
Yes.
Like what the steps
Yes.
are? Okay. Go ahead. What's the first step? Can you hear me? Hello? Good morning. People are jumping on. Good morning. Honey, we can't hear you. Did you hit your volume? Hello? Oh, I guess he jumped out. Okay. Might have been having technical difficulties. Okay, so is there anybody else that wants to jump on and jump on live? Okay. Let's see. Okay. It says someone else is connecting. I know it takes a little time, but I like to involve you guys. Good morning.
Miss Martin.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Sorry, my camera.
Good to hear your voice.
Hello?
Hello? So go ahead and explain
Is
to
my
us how to
camera
solve
from?
it.
Okay, so what I did was that I put 2.29 on top, and then I put 1.76 in the zero. And so first I added first I added 9 and 6, and it got me 15. So I carried the 1, and then that's when 7 plus 2 is 10. So I dropped my 0 and put my 1 on the other 2. And then that's when I got 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. And that's how I got 2.05.
Okay. So how did you know? Let's step back a minute. How did you know? I wrote it the way you said it. How did you know? You said you were adding the 9 and the 6. How did you know how to line it up like this? Good morning, everybody.
Because I was thinking about, like, if I put the 0 on top, it wouldn't really look right. So I was like, I might as well just put the 0 at the bottom.
Okay. But what were you lining up the numbers 2 and 29 hundredths and 1 and 760 thousandths? How did you know how to line them up? Because there's a special way we learned that you line them up when you're adding. That we learned in my class and Ms. Wilson's class.
It told me because 2 is bigger than 1.
Okay, so that might be why you put it on top. But what else? What do we call these little things that we needed to use?
Decimals.
Decimals. So in adding, what do we have to do with decimals? With adding and subtracting?
We got to put the bigger number on top.
But what else are you doing? How are you lining them up? Are you lining them up with the decimals, or are you pretending there's no decimals?
The decimal.
Yes, you have to line them up by the decimal. Okay, so you can add another 0 here if you'd like. But you were correct in that you don't really need that. Then you said you had 9 plus 6, and what did you get?
15.
Okay, and we carried the 1. And then you said you had 7 and 2 and 1, and you knew that was 10, you said, right?
Yeah.
And then you carried that. And then what did you get with 1 plus 2 plus 1? I don't know if I heard that part right.
I got 4. But 4. You got to put the decimal on by the 0.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's what you guys got, and again, you don't even need this column, as long as you lined them up by the decimals, you would have gotten the correct answer. Okay, great job, honey. You can jump off. Thank you. Appreciate you jumping.
You're welcome.
Good to hear you. Okay, so that's just a little bit about how we've been letting people jump on. That's another way to show that you understand what we're doing and to get points so that you can improve your grades. So for those of you that did the work ahead of time, and I know some of you sent it to me in DM, so I know you did work ahead of time. The goal is actually to, sorry, somebody's asking me a question. No, that was not, if you're listening. The goal is to do the work before class so then we can go over it and you can check your work and ask questions about it. Okay, so that's really the goal. That's why I've been posting them. I've been posting them in Teams. The packets have been available also in Canvas. I've been able to email it to people when you request that with you have to DM us your email. So there's lots of ways to get access to the work. Okay, so don't be worried if you don't have access because there's plenty of ways to do it. Okay, so to get us started, I'm going to read this one because it's a longer one, and then someone can jump on and tell me what we're going to do. So some of these numbers should look familiar. So Sonia has 2 packages of hamburger meat. The first package weighs 1.76 pounds, and the second package weighs 2.29 pounds. She mixes the 2 packages together and forms hamburgers that weigh 0.25 pounds each. What is the greatest number of 0.25 pound hamburgers Sonia can make using hamburger meat she has? So let's talk about this first, 0.25. What's another way to say that? That's 25 hundredths. But how do we say that in the real world? Good morning. Good morning. If I'm not waving, I am waving. I'm just not hitting all the buttons at the right time. When we've talked about, we did this recently, we've talked about thinking about decimals as money and what fractions they represent. So how do we say 0.25 in money? What's the word in money? Yeah, I'll read it again. I just want to talk about this 0.25 pounds, what that means. Okay, 25 cents. But what coin is 25 cents? What coin, you can write it in the comments, what coin is 25 cents? Don't just write what you see other people post. Think about what coin by itself is 25 cents. Quarter, exactly. Good, they're rolling in. So they're each a quarter pound, and we've all heard that at various restaurants, right? Quarter pounders, quarter pound hamburger. So that's like a standard, you know, a weight people use in making hamburgers. So that's what they're doing. They're giving you an amount of meat. Somebody asked me to read it again. Sonia has 2 packages of hamburger meat. The first package weighs 1.76 pounds. That number looks familiar. And the second weighs 2.29 pounds. And she's combining them. Says she mixes them together and forms hamburgers that weigh a quarter pound each, 0.25 pounds. What is the greatest number of quarter pound hamburgers Sonia can make using the hamburger meat she has? Okay, so this, what are we going to do first with the numbers they've given us? This is a 2-part problem, so this is why it's, you know, usually a part problem, because it involves doing a couple different operations and mixing them together. That's what makes it a 6th grade problem. So who wants to jump on and talk about this one? Because the rest of ours are a little bit straightforward. So good morning. Good morning. Thanks for jumping on. Remember, you don't just get points for jumping on and jumping off. You get points for being here the whole time. So keep that in mind. Okay, somebody's telling me what to do. Good morning. Okay, what are we going to add? What are we going to add first? Somebody's going to jump on and talk it through with us. Good. So, sorry, I'm just waiting, connecting. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, honey. How are you?
Good.
Good to hear your voices. I love hearing your voices. So again, don't show your face. So on this problem, what is the first step?
Can you go down a little bit?
Yeah. Well, now it disappeared. Let me put it back up. So we have the 2 packages of hamburger meat, and I said these numbers should look familiar. And then we're going to figure out how many quarter pounders we can make out of that meat all combined. So when we're combining something, what are we doing with it?
We add.
We add. So interestingly, we just added these numbers together. So what do you know? Good morning. Good morning. We added them together in the do now. So when we add together 2.29 pounds and 1.76 pounds, and I had just added the 0 to see if you all remembered how to line up the numbers, we get 4.05 pounds. So honey, what do we do with that number? Once we have that total, okay, you have 4.05 pounds. What's our next
Divided,
step? Oh, I guess
divided by 25.
what are you going to divide it by?
25.
25.25. Okay, so this is where you're going to think about it as money. Okay, and this time we don't even need to estimate because 0.25 is a quarter. So how many quarters would go into 40 cents? Because we're just looking at this amount of the problem.
1.
1. And remember, everybody, we're just going to use our Does McDonald's Sell Cheeseburgers little memory device so that we can work through the steps. So then we're going to multiply. 1 times 25 is 25. I need to borrow because I can't take 10. I can't take 0 minus 5. So what's 10 minus 5, honey?
15. I mean, my bad.
You're right. You already did it. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Is 15 smaller than 25?
Yes.
Yes. So that's our check. C for check. So then we bring down the next 5. Okay. So now, again, you pretend it's 155 cents, which is $1.55. How many quarters would go into $1.55?
4 quarters. 4 quarters is $1. 2, 6 quarters.
6 quarters. Great. She said 4 quarters is $1, and then there's 2 more and 50 cents. And that's exactly how you estimate. That's why it helps to think of it as money. Because remember, when we're dividing and multiplying by decimals, we're pretending there's no decimals in the problem. So even though I wrote them there, you could write it and do this problem as if there were no decimals. So 6 times 25 would give us $1.50, 150. 5 minus 0 is 5. These are zeros, which you could write or you could leave out. So honey, is 5 smaller than 25?
Yes.
Yes. So we're not done because we still have this remainder and we're doing decimals. So we're going to add a 0 to the end.
And bring it down.
Good, and bring it down. Now if you had 50 cents, go ahead.
2.
2 quarters would go in 50 cents. So 50 divided by 25 is 2. Multiply. 2 times 25 is 50. What's 50 minus 50?
0.
0. Okay, so I'm done with my problem. I check. Obviously 0 is smaller than 25. Now I go back and I have to worry about my decimals. So do you remember, and here's the 1 decimal here, and then there was 1 when we added our numbers together. Do you remember how to explain what I do with these decimals? How do I know how to move the decimals if there's a decimal in the divisor?
You're supposed to count the numbers that's behind it?
Great. So to the right of it, I go 1, 2. Until you hit the wall, you see how many numbers are to the right of the decimal. That's 2. So then I take the decimal that's here in the dividend, and how many places do I move it?
2.
So I move that over 2, and then you just go straight up from there. So my answer would be 16.2. But I have to check and see what they were asking me. What did I just figure out? What was that an answer to, honey? Here's the question.
What is the greatest number of 0.25 pound hamburgers Sonia can make using the hamburger meat she has?
Good. Now, these were the answer choices. There's a 2, a 7, a 9, and a 16. And our answer was 16.2. Okay. Are we going to make 0.2 of a hamburger?
No.
No. In real life, you're only going to make how many hamburgers with this number?
16.
16, right? Because there's not enough to make 17. So which answer would you pick? Which is the correct answer?
D.
D. Great. Nice job. Okay. Do you have any questions on that one, honey?
No.
Good job, honey. Okay, you can jump off. Thank you for participating.
You're welcome.
Again, when you guys participate, that definitely helps. I take that into account. Remember, all of this is positive points added to our grade. So when you go into Aspen, all you have to do is all those little boxes that have little comments in them, you can click in those and read the comments, just like we've talked about all year, where we make the comments about whether you're absent or your behavior. And if it says grade increase due to distance learning, then you know that I've already changed those grades. So you can see which ones have been changed to help improve your grades. Okay? All right. So that was kind of a big warm up. Okay, the next problem. Okay, anybody want to jump on and explain to me what we're going to do with this one? I'll read it. It just says, what is 78.32 plus 6.784? And again, I didn't read it with the proper place values. You know, 78 and 32 hundredths and 6 and 784 thousandths. Somebody's asking what was the answer to the last one. So the answer to the last one was, I'll scroll back up for you. How many hamburgers could she make? Well, we calculated that with that much meat, Sonia could make 16.2 hamburgers, but she's not going to make 16.2. She's going to make 16. Okay, and that was one of the answer choices. Okay. All right, good job. Good morning. Okay, so back to this one that we started reading. So who wants to jump on? Oh, go ahead. So you just have to request that you want to go live with me. Yep, you can jump on. The person that asked, go ahead. You just have to, you send a request in the, I guess, is it in the comments, guys? You're welcome. Somebody's asking. Sorry, guys, it's a lot to read all the comments and try to. Good, here we go. Okay, let me see. Okay, we'll give somebody else a try. Waiting. Meanwhile, at home, you should be checking for thinking about it yourself. Good morning, dear. How are you? Good. Somebody's saying they can't see the request on their tablet. Okay, so honey, on this problem, how would you solve this problem?
So I would line both of the numbers up, and then I will add them.
Okay.
So but in order to add them, you have to make sure they're in the right place. Like they are all lined up with each other.
Okay, and how do we line them up?
So
by which thing?
So we put. So hold on, I gotta get it.
So for example, if I write the first number, I'm going to write the first number down and show you. Good morning, good morning. So if I write this first number down, where am I going to line up the next number?
So you're going to line the next number up at the top.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I heard a little static.
So I think you're going to line the next number at the top.
Okay. Did you say next to the what?
At the top.
At the top? Did you say by the 8?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. I'm just making sure. So, and how did you know how to do that?
Because both of the decimals were not both of the decimals were in the right place, but in order to add them, you had to add a 0 by 78.32 because it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be nothing to add before.
Okay, so you're already talking about adding a 0 here. So you were right. You line them up by the decimal. And then she's also saying you can add a 0 here as a placeholder just to remind you what you're adding to. And I like that. You've learned that in class. You did that, you've done that in Ms. Nixon's class as well, some of you. So adding these placeholders really helps us. Okay? And so then we just start adding, right? With 0 plus 4.
4.
And 2 plus 8.
10.
So we add the 0 and carry the 1. And what's 7 plus 3 plus 1?
11.
11, good. We carry that 1. So then we have 1 plus 8 plus 6.
15.
15. And carry the 1 and get
8.
8. And then where do we put the decimal?
We put it between the 5 and the 1 because we carry the decimal down wherever it goes.
Exactly. We carry it down, straight down, because you line them up for addition and subtraction. Okay, great job. Thank you so much. Appreciate you doing that. Thanks, honey. Does anybody have any questions about that one? I told you a lot of these today were going to be pretty straightforward. Okay. No questions? Some people were typing. I don't know. Okay, great. So then we'll go on to the next one. It says, what is the value of this expression? And then we have these two numbers. So good job for those of you who got the right answer on the last one. Great. So who wants to jump on and talk about this one? You can just send a request and jump on and we'll talk about it. You can explain to us how to set it up, how to solve it. Come on, we have a small group today, so there's a lot more opportunities to get your points participating that way. Looks like some people took today off, huh? So who wants to jump on and talk about this one? Because now we're switching over. This one's subtraction. Tick tock, tick tock. I'd want to get my points up. Lots of opportunities. This is one of them. So if I have 49 and 88 hundredths minus 38 and 491 thousandths, how do I subtract those two numbers when they each have a different number of digits? That's what I need somebody to jump on and explain to me, so I know that I'm doing it right. Okay, here comes somebody. I don't know if it's working. Okay. Oh, it said that person could not join. Somebody else can jump on then. Send me a request. I don't know. I clicked on one of you and it said that that person couldn't join for some reason. I don't know why it's not working. Yep, it still says, I don't know. Okay. Let's try it again. It says somebody's jumping on. I don't know. I tried everybody. Of the three of you, two of you, it said it wasn't connecting.
Hello.
Okay, honey.
So
if we have these two numbers, okay, and I
Yeah.
wrote the first one down, where am I going to write the second number, 38, because I'm doing subtraction?
You're gonna have to write it. Yeah, you're gonna have to write it under the 49.
Okay, so I'm going to write my 38 under the 49. What am I going to do with my decimal?
You gonna line it up with the other one.
Good. And then write the rest of the numbers. Okay. Anything else I can do to make this easier to solve? Anything else you want to add to it so I can make it easier to subtract? Good.
No.
Those of you typing comments in, that's good. I appreciate
No.
it. You can still explain how to do it in there too. Thank you. Anything I want to add here?
A 0.
Great. Yeah, I want to put a 0 there. Remember, any decimal number, you could write zeros, you know, all the way out to infinity if you wanted. So adding a 0 doesn't change the value of the number. It just gives you place values to use to solve them. So you can add the zeros with no problem when they're to the right of the decimal. So 0 minus 1 I can't do. So what do I have to do, honey?
You gonna have to borrow from the 8, and that'll be a 7.
Okay. So
And then the 0 will become a 10.
good. And what's 10 minus 1?
9.
Good. So then I move over. Can I do 7 minus 9?
No.
No, ma'am. So now what do I do?
You don't have to borrow again.
What do I make this 8?
7.
Good. And then this 7, I'm making a
17.
17 because I actually borrowed 10. So what's 17 minus 9?
8.
Now I have an 8.
That would be, then 7 minus 4 is 3.
Good.
Place
I'll
your
put my decimal
decimal.
there.
And that would be 11 right there.
9 minus 8 is a 1. Good. You're jumping ahead. 4 minus 3 is a 1. So that's where she got 11. And that should be my final answer. Good. I've got some thumbs up. Anybody get a different answer and you have a question? Okay, so the key here, thanks, honey. You can jump off for that one. Thanks. Good job. So the key here was adding this extra 0 because we needed to borrow in order to take 10 minus 1. To take 9 from the 10, 1 from the 10, we had to borrow. But then we were left with a number that we couldn't subtract either, and we had to borrow again. Okay, sometimes when we're borrowing like that, we assume, oh, we're just going to change everything and people keep going and going. And you can't do that. You have to stop step by step. Okay, do it step by step. It's not like when we're borrowing through zeros and we change them all to 9s and go to the end. So it's better to do it in a stepwise progression and take our time with it. Okay? And we have another one that's going to be similar to that. So who would like to jump on and do the next one? And again, I'm only reading them today to save us a little time, but you're welcome to jump on. Good job. For those of you that all got the right answer, I like the thumbs up. I like the applause. Great way to support each other. Appreciate you. So this one says, what is the value of the expression 86.24 minus 79.764? So it's 86 and 24 hundredths minus 79 and 764 thousandths. Good, we've got some volunteers. Let's see. Oh, I don't know, it won't let me add. I don't know, Forever Asia, it won't let me add you. It keeps saying you're not available. Somebody else want to jump on? I don't know why. We haven't had that problem before. Anybody else want to jump on for those extra points? Let's try it again. Yeah, honey, whenever I click you, it says you're unable to join. I don't know why. Do you have something else running on your phone, or it let you join before? I don't know why it's doing that. She has to exit and come back on. Oh, maybe because you did it before. So sometimes you have to jump out of the live and jump back in. Thank you for those instructions. Yeah, I forgot people did that. Okay, try again, honey. I know it says you just requested, but part of it was getting bumped out. So let's see. Yeah, that's not working. Let's see if this person's works. It says connecting. I don't know, some of it may be my phone because lately doing these lives, it's really wearing out the phone. My battery keeps plummeting. It says I'm connected and everything, so I don't know. It's just connecting very slowly. Oh, it says you declined. Okay, so then I'll line it up. So using what we've done in the last two questions, and if somebody wants to try jumping on, they can. We've already established today and in the past that we line up decimals to add or subtract by the decimal point. We also put the bigger number we've established on the top to subtract. Okay, let's see who this is. Let's see if this one works. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Connecting. Good morning. That one worked. Hi, guys. Sorry. So thank you for being patient. Some people's connections, it says it's working, but then when I click on it, it says, excuse me, it says they're not available. So I know it's a learning experience for all of us. So honey, I wrote this and lined them up. And if you can see it then, and again, don't show your face, just, you could show, you know, the paper or whatever you want to show. If you would talk me through this and explain how would we solve this if we're trying to do the subtraction problem?
You gotta put a 0 on top of the 4.
Okay, put a 0 on top of the 4. Great. And then what's the first thing I'm going to subtract?
You gotta take away 1 from the 4.
Okay, so I'm borrowing from this 4
Mm-hmm.
and making this a 10.
And then you subtract 10 minus 4.
Okay, and what do I get?
6.
6. Good. Then I go over here. Can I do 3 minus 6?
No.
No. So this is what we talked about in the last problem. We have to go step by step. So how am I going to borrow a 10 for that? Where am I going to go?
To the 2.
To the 2. So I'm going to make the 2 a 1. And what am I going to make this 3?
13.
13. Good. So what is 13 minus 6?
7.
Okay. What's the next step?
Then you gotta go. You gotta borrow from the 6, so you could do 1 minus 7.
Okay, because I can't do 1 minus 7. She said I'm going to borrow from the 6. And what do I make that 1?
11.
I'll make it an 11. Okay. And so then what do I do next?
You subtract 11 minus 7.
Okay. And what do I get?
4.
Okay. I'm going to keep my decimals where they are. If we were using grid paper, you know, we would have this all lined up just for practice. Okay. What do I do next?
You move over to 5 minus 9, but you can't do that. So you borrow from the 8.
I borrow from the 8. Okay. Can you speak up a little bit? I can hear you, but I don't know if everybody else can. Okay. So I make that a 7. And then what do I do with this 5?
You make it a 15.
Make it a 15. Okay.
Then you subtract 15 minus 9, which is 6.
And what do I get?
6.
6. Okay. And then I have 7 minus 7, which is
0.
0. And you could even write it if you do it, and then you realize, oh, I don't need that. So what is my final answer?
6 and 476,000.
Awesome. Bonus points for reading it by the place value perfectly. Great. And as some people are saying in the bottom, if you looked at your answer choices, that would be answer choice A, right? Now, let's look at a couple answer choices real quick. Look at this one. D, 71 and 140,000. You can do by estimation, right? If we rounded these, like we talked about estimating, if you took 86 minus 80, because we would round 79.764 up to 80, we would never get a number as big as 71, right?
No.
So automatically we could have gotten rid of that one and we'd be down to 3 answer choices, and that would help us make sure we were right. Okay, nice job. Thanks. You can jump off. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Good to hear your voice. Okay. Any questions on that one? So that was a case where every single place value we had to borrow, I guess, except for the last one. Okay. And this is part of our learning from earlier grades, the borrowing. The only thing that's new for 6th grade was where to put the decimals and how to line them up. So we really can't forget those subtraction skills from 4th and 5th grade when we did these really complicated, 4 and 5 and 6 digit subtractions. Okay, So, last but not least, now we're going to a different operation, multiplication. So, who wants to jump on and talk to me about how we multiply decimals? Nice job. Yeah, thanks for the applause to your friends for having the guts to come on and explain things. I appreciate that. Sure. Okay, we'll try. I don't know why Asia, forever Asia, keeps saying no. I mean, I know who you are. I know you're trying. I just can't say your names. It won't. For some reason, it won't add you. It keeps saying you're. Let's try one more time. It just says you're unable to join. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Some people it's saying it won't let you join. I don't know if you've already done it once. It doesn't let you jump back on. I don't think we've had that problem in the past. So some people said you have to exit out of the live and then jump back in. I don't know. I know it's a small group today. Is there anybody that wants to jump on and try it that hasn't? All this is multiplication. We're just going to talk through it. Okay, I'm going to write the first number. Yep, it keeps saying you're unable to join. Let's see, let me try somebody else. Now it says waiting. So we may have some repeaters today helping out.
Hey, Miss Martin.
Hi, honey, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. So if we're doing multiplication, can you please remind us what the rule is for multiplication of decimals?
So you have to, when you multiply decimals, you have to line your decimals. You have to make sure your decimals are lined up. And you have to make sure that each number is in the right place value to multiply the number.
Okay, so did you say you do, I hear a little bit of static, sorry. Did you say you do need to line up the decimals or you don't? Because remember, multiplication and division are different than addition and subtraction of decimals.
Oh, you don't have to line it up.
Right, right. The only time we line them up is which two operations?
Is addition and subtraction.
Good. So we're going to write these numbers just like you would normally. Oh, I even wrote the wrong number in the wrong place. This is a 4. This is a 6. So when you multiply, you're just writing them just as if they had no decimal. So I'd be writing this as if it was 19,184 times 46. So you're lining them up by the ones. Okay? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about where to put the decimals. So I'm writing the decimals down. When you first solve it, you don't need the decimals. So what's 4 times 6, honey?
24.
24. I'm going to carry my 2. What's 8 times 6?
8 times 6 is 50, 8 times 6 is 48.
48.
Plus
and then I'm
2
adding 2.
50.
Good. So I carry my 5. What's 6 times 1?
6.
6.
Plus 5 is 11.
Great. Carry that 1. What's 6 times 9?
54 plus 1 is 55.
Great job talking us through.
And then 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5 is 11.
Oh, I wrote a 1 instead of a 5. Good job. Good catch. See, teachers make mistakes too. Okay, so when you multiplied, for those of you checking your work, when you multiplied your 6 times all of these digits, this is what your first row in the problem should look like. Okay, remember when you're multiplying by 2 numbers, you're going to have 2 rows. If you're multiplying by 1 number, you'd have 1 row. If you had 3 numbers, you'd have 3 rows that we're going to add together. Okay, so this is what you should have in your first row so you can figure out where you made your mistakes. And then just like in class, I like to just cross those numbers out. And what are we going to put here under the 4?
A 0.
We put a 0 as our placeholder, and we cross out our 6 because we know we're already done with it. Okay, so those are some of the tips and tricks we've done this year to make sure we know how to do this. So then we start with our 4, and we go back to the ones column. What's 4 times 4?
4 times 4 is 16.
So I write my 6 and carry my 1. What's 4 times 8?
And then 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33.
So I write it under the next column and carry it
4
3.
times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And then 9 times 4 is 36. And then you carry your 3 over, and then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7.
Okay. So in my second row, where I took the 4 and multiplied it by all of my digits, these are the numbers I should have in the second row. Okay. Now what am I going to do? Am I multiplying anything by 0? No, because if I was multiplying this without the decimal, it would just be the number 46. So I don't need to waste any time doing that. So what am I going to do with these numbers now? Am I adding them or subtracting them?
Adding them all up.
Okay, let's do it.
So 4 plus 0 is 4. 0 plus 6 is 6. Then 1 plus 3 is 4. 7 plus 5 is 12. 6 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. And then 7 plus 1 is 8.
Awesome. Now, do you remember how we do our decimals in multiplication then?
Yes.
How do we do that?
So what we do, based on what we did with the decimals, we see how many numbers is behind the decimals, and then we put the decimal right there behind the amount of numbers that's behind the decimal.
Great description. So we have 3 place values to the right of the decimal here, and we have 2 more. So what's 3 plus 2?
3 plus 2 is 5.
So we start here all the way at the right, and we're going how many to the left then?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4. You want to try to read that as the place value? It's really a long one.
Yes.
Okay, extra credit for trying.
Okay, so this is 8.800. Wait, hold on.
You read this number just the way it is. Like pretend that was your only number. How would you read the 82464?
Okay. Okay, so it would be. I don't know how to read it.
It's okay. So this would be ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So if you read it, you'd be reading 82,464, and then the place values, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. You'd say it's 8 and 82,464, 100,000s.
Okay.
That's a hard one, but thank you for trying. Okay, you can jump off. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. So you can DM me the code for today. Will be decimal. Okay, you can DM me that for your attendance. If you've picked up your packet already, I'll be posting the first assignment. There's parts that say day 1, and we're going to start that on Monday. Okay, so this is going to be the next week. We're going to be starting our new unit, just like I've been talking about geometry, and that's kind of exciting to get into new material. So it's not anything that we've done this year, but it'll be combining some of the skills that you already know. So I'm excited to get to some new material instead of all of the review and moving forward in our last unit that we just finished. So don't forget to get your packets today. If you can't make it today, Friday, some will be available at Baloo, but of course it'd be better to get it today. Please practice safe social distancing when you go out in public. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So the assignment for Monday, the do now, I will post just like I normally do. I will also post which part of the packet, because it's a long packet, so don't get overwhelmed. You know, we'll start with day 1, and I'll be posting that in Teams, and I always post it on Instagram, so you know what we're doing. Does anybody have any questions? You guys have been doing a great job. I really appreciate when you jump on. Oh, sorry, I guess I could have flipped it around. I really, really appreciate you guys when you jump on. It's great to hear your voices because we really miss you guys. And I know it's tough doing it from home, but I appreciate all of you that have been doing your iReady, your Khan Academy. All of that is helping to improve your grades. So if you have access, that's a great way to keep your skills up and keep moving forward to reach your own individual goals on iReady. Okay? So if you need me, you know how to reach me. You guys have my phone number, my text, my DMs, all of that. And I really appreciate you. And please have a great, oh, you have a question. Go ahead, honey. Somebody has a question. What do you have to do to DM me? Oh, you just go in, you message me through the Instagram Live. You know, the little, what is it, a little paper airplane? Oh, look at people just trying to jump on at the end. I told you the code, didn't I? That's all. Any other questions? Speaking of Lexi, did you still have a question? If you did, it's not coming up. So you got a PE packet, but I don't have a PE packet. So what do we have to it? A PE packet. The packet should have all of your subjects in it together, the ones from the school. And if not, the teachers, we've all been posting everything on Canvas and Teams, and DM your teachers your emails is another way. So if you didn't get something, just make sure you check in with your teachers, okay? I know we went over a few minutes, but I appreciate you guys. All right. Miss you. Bye.